Hello, BAME farm fans. It's a very rainy day. We're at the National Farm Machinery Show. We're at New Holland, getting all our gear. We picked up some t-shirts just because, but it's a classic t-shirt, that's why we got it. It's for Spurry. I'll probably show those off later, but we're in a, what is this, T7, T6?
T7 210.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's some tractor I'll never be able to afford, and by the time I could, the electronics will probably be shot, and it'll be recycled into Chinesium. You know, terrible thoughts. It looks pretty, big tires, shiny blue paint, cab's comfortable, but we're just having fun. And the bouncy seat, Adam, how do you like the buddy seat?
It's comfortable enough.
Yours doesn't have a suspension, I'm sorry, but the cab, I think this has got a pretty good ISO-mounted cab. Take a look at the controls. Yeah, we'll see the theme of the video will be the things we can't or won't ever be able to afford, but you know, maybe one day, we'll see. I'm already kind of scared based on all the buttons and electronics because there's things hidden, wires. Me and electrical things don't get along, and I can barely use a GoPro. Let's see, if we're tired of seeing people because we're at the farm show and close that down, don't want to see what's happening up there. Or if we're in Ohio and the cloud of smoke is too big because of the train derailment, we can close that and, you know, we can't see anything that's happening. We can be all secluded and cozy, and especially we have like a date in our tractor. That's what those are for. So neighbors can't see you when you take your date out on a ride through the pasture like that country song. Except, well, it's not a green tractor, it's a big blue tractor now. How do you feel about that, Adam?
Whatever works.
It's comfortable, I'll give you that much. I would not turn this down, but we got a lot of pennies to save, folks.
Maybe in a few years.
We got to start selling more feet picks.
Yeah, no one likes my feet.
You never know until you try. It's just like the Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. Yeah, it's time to get some folks on camera who don't want to be on camera, but we're going to see the New Holland display from afar. See all that pretty blue paint. It is wonderful. You know where we're not stopping? We're not stopping over there. Well, we're at Krone, folks. We already know I've got a tedder. And I'm really trying to track one of these down with a conditioner. I'm a little disappointed they didn't bring a mower here with the conditioner. I love the system. It's got a breakaway that spins the turtle out of the way to save all the expensive parts down here. Yes, I know I've made videos about how I'm very much against this. I will still probably dislike it, and if I ever break this, if I can ever buy one, I'll be very mad at that point. This is a 10-foot cut. I will never probably drive much faster, but it's the sheer fact of the width covering more ground in that fashion. And a big selling point on this, for me, is the suspension system. To carry the load, say, over the cutter bar. I'm cutting rough ground, and this will help it float over the roughness. No belts, solid drive. I'd probably have to use like the TW or the 1086 on something like this. This is the easy cut R320 in front of us. We don't have to dream about this one, folks. I've got a 4-basket. This is the 6-basket Big Brother, and it is impressive. I could probably tat all my hay in about 15 minutes, and it would be great. Oh wow, it is dark. We are inside an S97 Gleaner right now in the darkness, and I'm just admiring all the space between the engine and the rotor. That's one thing the Gleaners definitely have going for them, is accessibility to work on stuff up there. Let's remember our map. Def? Lovely. Urea juice. Oh, we don't see it. So they got a little bit of galvanization, which we want to try to see. It's just a sticker. It's up front. Might as well climb inside. We like going up ladders. It's crazy how much like the design of these hasn't changed. Obviously they've changed engines, gotten bigger. There's a lot of room. They could play like hide and seek up here and get lost everywhere. This is all the space I was talking about. You can open up the side and really see the rotor. And that's not just like a display thing for the show. They're all like that. Oh, hello, Adam. We can see a lot from up here. Now that's actually galvanized, but they didn't put that on the outside of the combine. Crazy how they galvanize the stuff that you don't see. And the funny thing is, when you look back, like old Gleaners are not that shiny anymore because, you know, the galvanization does oxidize a little bit. But could you imagine a new F3 Gleaner? Look at the flooring deck. That's how shiny new F3 Gleaners were way back in the day.
Hello, Bane Farm fans.
Howdy, Katie. Even platforms to stand on when you gotta work on them. All those niceties. Now, I'll say that scares me. You can't tell me that's gonna fare well in the world. That is a lot of wiring. Oh, that's the S97 Gleaner, folks. All big and huge. You know what probably doesn't have much for electronics? Tillage tools, because they're in dirt. But I'm looking at this high-speed disc here, supremely curious at just how much horsepower it might require, or how little tractor I can use. Do you think the 1086 would pull this? They've definitely got some weight in the blades. Those are thick. Whew. It's thicker than the blades when we rebuilt the 470. They're probably 20, 22-inch blades. Adam, how big do you think this is?
I want to say 16 foot.
I wonder if the number matches the width. That's a common thing.
Yeah, it could be.
At speeds up to 12 miles an hour. Whew.
From this angle, it didn't look quite 20 feet, so...
I don't think so.
Yeah, from the back looks like about 20.
It always looks bigger from the back.
That's what she said.
Katie, we can't take you anywhere. I am super curious. 12 miles an hour, man, that would be like, what, probably 7th gear? I'd be running out of speeds quick. I mean, these work on the principle of speed, speed, speed. It's a lot of bearings degrees. I don't think they're greasable. They claim you can go through like standing wheat with these and have a plantable seed bed afterwards. That's going to be a lot of work. Do you love Farminol enough to win one? Well, I mean, we wouldn't cuddle, but who wouldn't want to win a free tractor? So yes, we're definitely going to love Farminol enough for that. I'm not too savvy on the newer tractors. They have red paint, and the neighbor bought one a couple years with a loader. I will say his review would probably match mine along the lines of the electronics and having issues with the DEF system. So it's just a lovely new age thing, but I guess it's, you know, besides those minor issues, doing pretty good. Now we just got to figure out where to sign up to say we love Farminol enough. And we can't get in the cab of this one. This is pure display only. Oh, we're down here in the darkness. You probably can't see me, but I'm underneath a sprayer. And I always wondered about if you're going down the road in a real compact car, there's probably 4 foot of clearance. This thing could definitely drive over one of my round bales, and I'm sure a Honda Civic isn't that tall, and the width would be just right. It'd probably be like super crazy and something Whistling Diesel would try, you know, going down the road and drive a little car underneath a big sprayer. It'd probably scare the driver of the sprayer when you come out the front. What abyss are we in now? Well, this is the seat hopper of an air seeder, but really it gives me a nice giant platform to look across the building and see what's out there. And one thing I just realized, since we're at Case and we started the day at New Holland, is that they have the same setup. They have a 175 Puma, which is about the same size as the T6 Adam and I sat in, hooked to a round baler, which because of the flag, we cannot quite see the model number. However, it's the same baler as New Holland, just with different paint on it. And I find it funny, like, why don't they share a space? Oh, okay, so we can see New Holland from here. They're on opposite corners of the hall. That is funny. That is very funny. How lovely. Now this planter is being pulled by the Magnatrack Black Knight, which is a throwback to the old Cases, the 70 series. Can't see much from the back, but like I said, I'm enjoying my platform up here of quietness with less people, where we can film more of the whole building. So in the car world, it's a really big thing to do an LS swap. I never understood that, and I'm pretty sure that's not what this tractor is about. Definitely not about putting like a Corvette engine. I don't even know what the LS number, like how many liters and whatnot or anything about that because I'm not a Chevy guy. Oh, we're gonna sneak in the right-hand door. Oh, that is tight. And of course, well, the buddy seat on this side isn't, you know, it's not the most clearing filled. 4-speed. Loader, well, that's a long reach for the loader. Not bad. This is actually very less electronic. At least it feels like there's less electronics in it. Maybe PTO switch, hydraulic adjustments, but there's actually real levers that have resistance against them. I'm liking that. Lights are understandable. Oh, we don't have to see the world. Pull the shade down. I did not do that. Oops, nobody look. Okay. It's cozy. The buddy seat, I fit. I got headroom.
Here's the question, do I fit?
We try to like have the whole crowd in here.
Should I try to come in?
Actually, the problem is there's more like room to sit back there, I'd imagine. I'm sure they don't advise riders, and I was just here to see how we could play with the reverser lever. Man, I wonder how it's like how much of this stuff works after the show because they've had kids in here or me playing with it.
We're just all big kids.
Oh yes, who doesn't enjoy sitting in a tractor? We're having a blast. It's just a party. We're sitting in every tractor we can, except for those tractors.
On the contrary, I've always sat in one of those.
We will disown you. Informative data plates. Made in Korea. The best part of the farm show. Ayler's ice cream. Only because the line is short and we are way too starving, way too tired, and very lazy not to stand in line for all the food out here. Because the line just goes for miles essentially. And there's so much to see here, we might as well eat and walk. So I don't know so much about Pottinger, but one thing I'm curious about is always going under disc mowers. You always got to play with the turtles. And I must say, they don't have too much slack between the gears. They're a very tight fit. And I didn't notice this in other brands that I've looked at today, but for some reason the Pottinger does feel very tight. I'm really daydreaming. The triple mower is way out of my future. I don't expect to do that much hay. But I am curious if they do offer this as a single-sided one like the Krone. Because at least they brought one with a conditioner. And we can't see it from this angle. So getting underneath here. Oh, it's a chevron roll. See, over at Krone, they were telling us how much trouble they were having with the rubber rolls. But they were having trouble with the rubber and I'm staying on. Let's see, where's Pottinger from? Austria. It's always fun to see where things are made. How do you think it would do scooping manure?
I say it'd be pretty well.
Well, I mean, at least you sit back far enough so you don't have to worry about getting splashed all the way out there. In all reality, it would probably only take like 3 or 4 scoops to fill the spreader. And I thought my old New Holland 680 was a pretty good sized spreader. So JCB is trying to combine a telehandler with a front end loader design. Okay, I guess I got buddy seat on this one. Oh, let's look at the floor. We're in a Deutz-Fahr. And for some reason, black is the trend. Like we saw the Magnum with the tracks earlier. That was, you know, the Case Night demonstrator black. And now Deutz is also doing it. It's a theme. So, what kind of creature comforts do we have?
I've got a swiveling seat.
Oh, that is the best part. I see tons of buttons.
Yep.
Oh, we have a moonroof for when you take your honey on a date. How can we open this?
There you go.
Yeah, there, let's let in some light.
Automatic climate control.
Now, unlike the LS, this... Can I get it back down? Ow, jeez. I about broke my finger instead of breaking the tractor. We always gotta test the sunshade. That is an important feature. Oh, it goes back up. Whew. I was worried there for a second. That was a pretty stiff pull down. Oh, we don't want to see the moon and the stars. Tilt steering wheel. Ooh, that's actually, that right there is probably one thing I've never seen, I never thought of. But just this little safety wire to stop your knee from hitting the reverser lever.
Yeah.
With the tilt steering wheel, it might get close to your knee. And I'm usually used to hitting like keys on the dash and stuff because the 1086, even the 28 and the 29, even the smaller tractors, they don't have a reverser handle, but they're still, you gotta watch for hitting your knees on something, and that can be bad. Cause the tractor to go crazy on you. They took the batteries out. Smart move, guys, smart move.
There's the ignition. I was looking all over for the ignition.
Oh,
right here.
they hit it.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that'd be really hard to steal this tractor. Most people wouldn't think of that. See, you still didn't get me in a green tractor, even though it's a Deutz. But this one is not green, so haha, we cheated the system. We're looking at a 3.5 EcoBoost Ford, and we found their cutaway, which they're not really showing off to the public. They got it like turned around. And it's fun to see the insides of the engine. Like the 5 Fords used to have a bad rap about changing spark plugs. Well, I couldn't imagine if he had issues with that, because look how deep in the head that spark plug's buried. I don't know, I'm not an engineer. I'm just a poor farmer who works on equipment and bust knuckles fixing whatever we can. Hopefully we don't have to fix it, obviously. But it's fun to see the inside cut out and the flash rust. Guess we should have put some more wax on that. And if we can sneak back here, that is a little turbo. That's like a hairdryer. I'm super curious about that. I mean, I've never seen an EcoBoost up close. But, you know, this cutout is here for learning purposes. And the cutout side is hidden from public view, unfortunately. The oil filter looks like it's easy access. It is most important for us independent farmers who change our own oil. We do like that. We're up underneath the skirt of another disc mower. If you can't tell, there's a theme. We're just having fun in tractor cabs or looking at various hay equipment. Combines have not been very prolific here. Case and New Holland did not bring any. But we're underneath an Irish brand called Malone, which is camped out here next to McHale. And we're just checking it out because I thought maybe this was overflow from McHale, and it's not. Time conditioners. I don't know. That's, I guess, medium on the slack between gears. I'm just curious. This isn't, oh, they even put a light so you can see. That is actually a great feature.
Yeah.
Huh. I haven't paid attention to other disc mowers, but chances are I probably could be out there after dark trying to get way too much done in a day. We just had to get that sticker in right there. So we're looking at the Mahindra Roxer, which is like a Jeep knockoff essentially, but brand new. Very simple. It looks like bed liner over the metal floor. I like the simplicity. Probably great to get dirty and hose out. Great for all the non-electronic farmers out there. This is a turbo diesel model. Sounds like good solid metal. You know, nothing flimsy or extra stamped. They didn't skimp. I don't know much about the engines or anything else. However, I am I don't know about impressed, but slightly amazed or happy about their building choices. I have never driven one of these, but it seems like it's just ready to get dirty and go to work and not be too pretty about life. We've made it to the best part. The small tractors, the things we may actually be able to afford sometime in our lifetime. I feel like this old barn here, I don't have any cool old barns like that. But it takes into consideration many farmyards, probably including mine, with the collection of stuff around. I mean, I don't think the 2+2 would be stuck to the point they gotta use a track hoe to pull it out. But you know, we've got the weeds growing around the combine, the shrubbery in general, the embodiment of a forgotten about family farmstead right there. Plus there's all that new shiny stuff down there, like the grain bins. It looks like they're having a Nick moment. I mean, why drive? There's a water in a ditch. That should be signs to not drive through it. They've got decent terrain roll, like over there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's not just flat. There's good attention to detail. Definitely tickled about the 86 series tractor sitting over there. Not to mention the New Holland combine, which is a throwback paint scheme. I've never seen one of those in real life, but the toy looks cool. Now we're having our pretend drone time. This balcony gives us a great overlook to see the whole setup below. So this is like a 1/64th drone, me holding the camera up in the air from the second floor. And you really appreciate the detail from afar. Like they're even mowing hay, there's even a water feature with the creek.